Dams are more than walls of concrete holding back water. They are giants that have changed history, reshaped entire landscapes, and even starred in Hollywood. Imagine a desert suddenly turning into a glittering sea, or a tower of concrete that rising higher than the Eiffel Tower itself. One was so spectacular that James Bond used it for a 220-meter bungee jump, the greatest stunt ever filmed. Another became so iconic it appeared on the very first cover of a world-famous magazine. There's a dam with a spillway that looks like a giant hole swallowing an entire lake, and one hidden so high in the mountains that nomads still graze their animals beside its turquoise waters. These aren't just engineering projects, they're stories carved into stone and water. Today, we'll count down 20 of the most breathtaking dams in the world. Stay with us until the end, because number 1 didn't just change a river, it rewrote the destiny of an entire nation. 20. Bakhtiari Dam, Iran. Picture a dam so tall it could rival the Eiffel Tower. That's Bakhtiari Dam in Iran's Loristan province. Set to become the tallest arch dam on Earth at 325 meters. Under construction since 2013, it will store 4.8 billion cubic meters of water and power a hydro plant producing 1,500 megawatts, enough for millions of households. Built on the Bakhtiari River, a tributary of the Des, this project isn't just about energy. It's named after the Bakhtiari tribe, who have lived in the Zagros Mountains for centuries, adding cultural pride to its ambition. Despite sanctions, Iranian leaders showcase it as a symbol of resilience, while engineers joke that the concrete here could pave a highway all the way to Istanbul. Once filled, the lake will sparkle like a sapphire pressed into the cliffs, transforming the rugged mountains into a breathtaking landmark. 19th, Merdang Dam, China. High on the Tibetan Plateau, where the air is thin and yaks graze on vast meadows, China built one of its most daring hydro projects, the Merdang Dam. Completed in late 2024, it stands 211 meters tall and over 600 meters long on the Upper Yellow River in Qinghai Province. What makes it unique is altitude. At more than 3,000 meters above sea level, it is China's highest major dam. Its 2.2 gigawatt powerhouse now fuels millions of homes, pushing the nation further from coal. But numbers only tell half the story. Imagine turquoise waters reflecting snow-capped peaks while nomads lead herds nearby. A futuristic dam planted in an ancient landscape. Wildlife corridors were even built into its design to protect rare species. Chinese media celebrated as a milestone of the 14th five-year plan, but travelers simply call it unforgettable. 18. Mangla Dam, Pakistan. If you sail across Mangla Lake, it's hard to imagine that beneath its blue waters once stood entire villages. Completed in 1967 with World Bank and U.S. support, Mangla Dam on the Jhelum River became Pakistan's second largest dam and one of the biggest earth-fill dams in the world, rising 147 meters and stretching 3.1 kilometers. It holds 9.12 cubic kilometers of water, generating over 1,000 megawatts of electricity and irrigating millions of acres in Punjab. But its construction came at a price. More than 110 villages were submerged and thousands relocated in one of South Asia's largest resettlement efforts. Today, Mangla Lake is both a power source and a tourist paradise. Ramkot Fort, a 16th century Mughal fortress on its shore, adds a touch of history to the landscape. Locals call the dam Kashmir's Blue Crown, a place where tragedy, progress, and beauty are all locked together in shimmering waters. 17. Gardner Dam, Canada. What turned the dry Canadian prairies into an oasis of blue lakes and sandy beaches? The answer lies in Gardner Dam. Completed in 1967 on the South Saskatchewan River, standing 64 meters high and stretching over 5 kilometers. It's Canada's largest dam and one of the world's biggest earth-filled giants. Its creation gave birth to Lake Diefenbaker, a reservoir so vast it holds 9.4 cubic kilometers of water. That water now irrigates crops, powers the 186-megawatt Coteau Creek Station, and supplies drinking water to much of Saskatchewan. But Gardiner is more than function. It's a summer playground. Thousands come for fishing, hiking, and camping, with anglers chasing massive rainbow trout, including Canada's largest recorded catch. Prime Minister John Diefenbaker, after whom the lake was named, once called it the Prairie Salvation. Don't stop here. Like, subscribe, and share with friends who love history and epic engineering feats. 16th, Tarbela Dam, Pakistan. Imagine a turquoise sea held back by a wall of earth. That's Tarbela Dam, the largest earth-filled dam in the world. Completed in 1976 on the Indus River, it rises 143 meters and stretches nearly 3 kilometers, creating a reservoir with an astonishing 14.3 billion cubic meters of capacity. Built with World Bank support, it was a cornerstone of Pakistan's Indus Basin project, replacing water lost to India after the Indus Waters Treaty of 1960. Over the years, Tarbela's power station has expanded into Pakistan's biggest hydro source, producing over 4,800 megawatts of electricity. Beyond energy, it irrigates millions of acres of farmland, making it the backbone of national food security. In summer, visitors gather to watch roaring spillways that thunder like waterfalls, while in winter, the calm reservoir mirrors the rugged mountains. 15. Hirakud Dam, India. Stretching across the Mahanadi River like a giant scar, Hirakud Dam is the longest earthen dam on Earth, 26 kilometers of solid power. Completed in 1956, it created a 55-kilometer-long reservoir capable of storing 8 billion cubic meters of water. For India's first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, projects like this were temples of modern India, and Hirakud was one of the proudest. It ended centuries of devastating floods in Odisha and irrigated nearly 500,000 hectares of farmland. With 307 megawatts of capacity, it fueled both homes and industries. Yet Hirakud is more than statistics. It's a spectacle. Its massive lake has over 200 islands, turning into a sanctuary for migratory birds from Siberia and beyond. From Gandhi Minar and Nehru Minar towers, tourists capture breathtaking panoramas of blue waters and green hills. 14. Oroville Dam, USA. In California's Sierra Nevada, a concrete giant rises taller than 2 Washington monuments stacked together. The Oroville Dam. At 235 meters, it's the tallest dam in the United States, completed in 1968 to form Lake Oroville, one of California's largest reservoirs. The Edward Hyatt power plant hidden inside produces hundreds of megawatts, powering millions. But Oroville is remembered worldwide for its dramatic 2017 crisis. After heavy rains ripped open its spillway, 188,000 residents were forced to evacuate in the largest dam emergency in U.S. history. Covered live by CNN and BBC, the disaster sparked national debate about America's aging infrastructure. After years of repairs, Oroville returned stronger, but its drama lingers in memory. Today, Lake Oroville is also a scenic getaway with forested shores, hidden coves, and marinas for boating and fishing. 13. Hoa Binh Dam, Vietnam. Tucked among limestone mountains and winding rivers, Hoa Binh Dam is more than concrete. It's a symbol of Vietnam's modernization. Built with Soviet help and finished in 1994, it towers 128 meters and nearly a kilometer across the Gia River. At its peak, it was Vietnam's largest energy source, producing 1,920 megawatts to light millions of homes. But beyond power, it protects the Red River Delta, Vietnam's agricultural heart, from devastating floods. Its 230-kilometer-long reservoir is breathtaking, often called the Ha Long Bay of the mountains. With forested slopes, fishing villages, and island retreats, For the Muong ethnic communities nearby, it's a blend of tradition and modern life. Hoa Bin is a rare place where engineering, culture, and nature all meet. If this amazed you, check out our video on emergency water discharge and massive dam failures caught on camera. 12th, Monticello Dam, USA. Some dams impress with size, but Monticello in California went viral for something stranger: a giant hole in the water. Built in 1957, this 93-meter arch dam across Puta Creek formed Lake Berryessa. Its real claim to fame is the Morning Glory Spillway, better known as the Glory Hole. When the lake is full, the massive funnel swallows millions of gallons of water, creating the surreal illusion of a drain in the middle of the reservoir. Videos of this spectacle have gone viral on YouTube and TikTok, pulling in millions of views. Beyond internet fame, the dam supplies water to Solano County, powers irrigation, and generates hydroelectricity. But its beauty lies in the setting. Rolling hills covered in vineyards, blue waters stretching like a jewel, and weekend crowds boating or fishing. Monticello may not be the biggest, but with its one-of-a-kind spillway, it's the most internet-famous dam on the planet. 11th, Gordon Dam, Australia. Imagine standing on a narrow crest 140 meters high with a sheer drop into wild Tasmanian rainforest. That's Gordon Dam. Completed in 1974, its graceful curve stretches 198 meters across, holding back Lake Gordon, Tasmania's largest lake, which stores more than 12 billion cubic meters of water. It generates 430 megawatts, almost 13% of Tasmania's electricity, making it vital for the island's clean energy. But its setting is what leaves people speechless. Deep gorges, untouched wilderness, and a wall of concrete rising like a monument to power. Thrill seekers even abseil down its massive wall in one of the world's highest commercial rappels. Contra Dam, Switzerland. Few dams can say they turned into a Hollywood stunt stage, but Contra Dam in Ticino, Switzerland, can. Completed in 1965, it stands 220 meters tall with a sleek double-arch design that creates Lago di Vogorno. Nestled in emerald green valleys, it supplies hydropower to the Verzasca region. But its global fame came in 1995, when Pierce Brosnan's James Bond jumped off it in GoldenEye. The 220-meter bungee jump is still ranked among the greatest movie stunts of all time. Tourists now flock here not just for the scenery, but to do the jump themselves. Operators run Bond-style leaps straight from the crest. The dam has appeared in travel documentaries, Instagram reels, and adventure blogs, turning it into a pop culture icon. Its mix of elegance, adrenaline, and cinematic fame makes Contra Dam more than engineering. 9. Müsserboden Dam, Austria. High in the Austrian Alps, Müsserboden Dam doesn't just generate electricity, it feels like a hidden world above the clouds. Built in the 1950s, together with the Wasserfallboden Dam, it created vast alpine reservoirs at over 2,000 meters above sea level. The dam itself rises 107 meters and stretches nearly 500 meters across, feeding clean energy into Austria's national grid. But its charm is all about the view. Turquoise lakes reflecting snow-capped peaks of the Hohe Tauern range, glaciers hanging above, and meadows bursting with alpine flowers. Every summer, tourists ride funiculars and buses up winding mountain roads to reach this spectacular site. Visitors can walk along the crest, explore underground power plants, or simply take in the panorama. 8. Bratsk Dam, Russia. In Siberia's icy wilderness lies a reservoir so vast it's bigger than some countries, the Bratsk Dam's lake. Completed in 1967 on the Angara River, the dam rises 125 meters and stretches nearly 1.5 kilometers. Its reservoir covers a jaw-dropping 5,400 square kilometers, once the largest man-made lake on Earth. For decades, Bratsk Hydroelectric Station held the title of the world's most powerful, producing 4,500 megawatts. In Soviet times, it was celebrated in songs, poems, and documentaries as a symbol of national progress. Workers poured so much concrete here that people joked it could build a highway from Moscow to Vladivostok, the water stretching like an inland sea surrounded by endless taiga forests and icy horizons. India. Long before many of today's mega projects, India built a dam that became the pride of the South, the Meter Dam. Completed in 1934 on the Kaveri River, it was then among Asia's largest. Standing 65 meters high and stretching 1,700 meters, it created the Stanley Reservoir, capable of storing more than 90 billion cubic feet of water. To Tamil Nadu, it's nothing less than a lifeline, irrigating millions of acres and supplying drinking water to towns and cities, generating hydroelectricity as well. It has powered progress for nearly a century, but beyond utility, the setting is enchanting. Rolling green hills, a shimmering lake dotted with islands and festivals celebrated on its banks. Tourists picnic, boat, and fish here, while locals call it their region's blue heart. Historically, it also became central in water disputes with Karnataka, debates that continue today. 6th, Hoover Dam, USA. Few dams have achieved global icon status, but Hoover Dam is one of them. Built during the Great Depression and finished in 1936, it towers 221 meters over the Colorado River between Nevada and Arizona. Its curved concrete wall created Lake Mead, America's largest reservoir, storing enough water for millions across the Southwest. Producing over 2,000 megawatts, its design, its bold Art Deco towers and sweeping curves turned it into an architectural marvel. Nearly 100 workers lost their lives during construction, and legends even suggest some were sealed inside the concrete walls. Dedicated by President Roosevelt, Hoover became a symbol of American determination in hard times. Today, it draws 7 million visitors a year and stars in films, from Transformers to San Andreas. Against desert cliffs and blue waters, Hoover Dam stands as one of the world's most admired engineering triumphs. Almendra Dam, Spain. In Spain's Salamanca province lies a lake so vast locals call it the Almendra Sea. It was created in 1970 by the Almendra Dam, one of the tallest in Spain at 202 meters, stretching 567 meters across the Tormes River. It feeds a tunnel 15 kilometers long to Villarino Power Station, generating more than 850 megawatts of electricity. Part of Spain's ambitious Duero Basin plan, it transformed the region's energy and irrigation. Yet Almendra is known as much for its stories as its size. Several villages were submerged beneath its waters, and locals still whisper legends of church bells ringing from under the lake on quiet nights. The sunsets here are unforgettable, gold and crimson reflecting off the vast reservoir, making it feel more like an inland sea than a river basin. Kerr Dam, USA. In Montana, a canyon carved by the Flathead River holds one of America's most striking dams. Kerr. Completed in 1938, the dam is 63 meters high and 541 meters long, creating Flathead Lake, the largest freshwater lake in the western United States, producing nearly 200 megawatts. It powers homes and industries across the region. But what makes Kerr historic is ownership. In 2015, it became the first major U.S. hydro facility fully managed by a Native American tribe, the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes. U.S. media covered it as a milestone in tribal sovereignty and resource management. Beyond politics, the dam is visually stunning. Ataturk Dam, Turkey. On the mighty Euphrates River, Turkey built a project so vast it reshaped an entire region. The Ataturk Dam, completed in 1990, it stands 166 meters high and stretches 1.8 kilometers, creating Ataturk Lake, one of the largest man-made lakes on Earth at 817 square kilometers. Its reservoir stores 48.7 billion cubic meters of water and generates 2,400 megawatts. powering millions of homes. But its biggest impact has been on agriculture. As part of the Southeastern Anatolia project, it irrigates 1.7 million hectares, transforming Turkey's dry south into fertile farmland. Named after Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, the founder of modern Turkey, it carries deep national pride. The view is breathtaking. And that's our journey through the world's most beautiful dams. See you in the next video on Forever Green.